Hey, it's James, Father's Rights and Resources, hashtag how I got custody. This is a great example of the stuff I deal with all the time. And this is an example of, now this guy doesn't subscribe to me, so subscribers, you don't have to worry about me bashing you if you make a comment or whatever. But this guy is one popped in and popped out with a flippin', I don't really care about my kids, I don't really care about an answer. When he stumbled across the best resource he could possibly find out on the internet that I know of, unless you guys can show me a better one, feel free to let me know. But this is the typical dad. This is why I'm only here for the 10% of people who watch my videos who actually care, to have some gumption, to have some balls, to have some initiative. When they see some answers, like, oh my God, some answers here. Let me latch on to that and find out more. This guy does what the typical lazy person does. And please don't ask me, if you have a question like this, you need a consult, okay? If you have a vague, wide, broad question that takes hours to answer, you need a consult. This guy is hoping for a fast food, drive-through, drive-by, wave a magic wand and rescue me because I'm not going to get off my ass and do anything and put any effort into this. So this guy says, so how would you argue that every other weekend is bad? How would you argue that to a judge? I got thorough YouTube videos for that. Obviously, I only have 10-minute videos here. Anybody, like if he wants some free help, but see, most people want free help are lazy, shiftless bums. So you think about welfare folks, a lot of people on welfare stay on welfare and don't want to get a job. Guys who are in a rut, who are every other weekend dads, accept that as the norm and don't hear anything different. And they see somebody like me, my name or my page name says how I got custody. That alone should drive a guy to say, damn, this guy got full custody without an attorney on his own. I need to find out what the deal is and what my options are and how I can figure out what to do. Does he have courses? Does he have this? Does he do consults or what? But because of the passive, lackadaisical, apathetic, and I understand men are beat down and they don't think that there's any hope. But when you see a glimmer of hope, you should latch onto it like a real man with balls does. But we turn to such feminine, soft, gentle simps. We do stuff like this. Oh, wow, a guy who got full custody who's helped thousands of other guys win in court. Huh. Let me just ask him real quick. How would you argue that, I assume he's an every other weekend dad, and he probably doesn't like it, and he wants to see his kids. But he doesn't want it bad enough to put any effort into it because his kids don't mean that much to him. Now, I may be making a bunch of assumptions, but I'm going off of his actions. I'm an action person. That's why I'm sick of the Father's Rights Movement groups. All they do is go to a Father's Rights Movement meeting if you haven't. Find one in your area. Watch the Facebook pages. All they do is whine, cry, piss and moan, whine, cry, piss and moan. Then somebody has a question and nobody has a good answer. Everybody who's in that group lost in court. And they're giving loser legal advice to people in a group that was started by a loser who lost in court. It's utter absurdity and stupid acidness. If I don't know something and I really want to know it real bad, whether it's how to budget my money, how to save for a car, how to get back to school, how to get out of the rut of the rat race and, get into real estate or something new or different. And I come across somebody who succeeded in it, I wouldn't say, hey, how do I do real estate? I would be a dumb, moronic, stupid, freaking idiot if I just passed by on a YouTube channel and I comment in the comments and I say, hey, how do I do that? Anybody with half a brain knows if you go on somebody's, YouTube channel, TikTok or whatever, and they got some content and they do a quick video and you're talking about real estate or learning a trade or learning a habit, learning how to get in shape. You don't get on there and say, what specific program should I follow? And you don't even tell anybody what the frick you're even talking about, how overweight you are, how fat you are, what your habits are, what your availability is. Come on, you can't be that much of a dumbass. But most people would say you've got to be a dumbass to go on somebody's page and ask a really vague question and expect an answer that will give you all the answers you need. This is such a question. And it happens on my page all the time. And I get sick of it. And I tell people, don't ask stupid ass questions. If you're lost and you're doing something like you're dealing with something like a custody battle, Did it take your attorney 12 seconds to brief you on your court hearing and get ready for court and file court paperwork and get a court hearing and argue in front of the judge? Of course not. It took days or weeks. So how would you come on my page and ask a stupid-ass question like this? How would you argue that every other weekend is bad? First of all, I got plenty of videos on my YouTube channel that you can go watch for free if you want to figure it out on your own. But if you're this shiftless and lazy, you're not going to figure it out on your own because it'll take some effort for you to bounce around the videos and take time, and you have to read some laws, and you have to learn how to put the stuff together. But dumbasses like this don't want to get an appointment with me. And don't, again, I'm saying this because I did it, and I was totally lost and had no idea what I was doing. All I knew is, like, I went to a father's rights law firm, Goldberg and Jones. They said, divorce lawyers for men or something like that. Divorce for men. I went to them and they told me you'll get it every other weekend. I said, I work at night. My baby's mom works during the day. I should have my daughter during the day all week and then every other weekend at least. They said, you'll probably still get it every other weekend. I said, you got to be out of your freaking mind because I have some freaking common sense. And because I don't fall for some stupid ass, half-ass, lame-ass excuse for not fighting. That made no sense to me, so I stopped them. Numbnuts like this will say, whatever my first attempt and my first opinion of an attorney said. If you got a kid and your kid has a life-threatening disease and you go to a doctor and they say, well, there's no hope. We could try this one thing, but there's no hope. You would get a second opinion, wouldn't you? If you actually gave a shit about your kids, anybody in their right mind would, a second and third and fourth opinion, and look at naturopathic remedies or every other remedy outside of conventional medicine if they told you there's no hope. Dumbasses like this will drop by and say, oh my God, there's hope for me to get custody or 50-50. Let me drop a question in this. I'm not going to follow the guy. Let me drop a question and maybe he'll answer me and give me a 5-hour lecture and a comment reply. You see how stupid this is? If people gave a shit, the guys who give a shit about their kids, they call me as soon as they see the first video they see me, and I don't even expect you guys to do this. But when you see the moniker, How I Got Custody, that should pique your interest to find out stuff. And you watch a video of mine, every video has something that you never heard before. The fact that I say How I Got Custody, and I show you my winning court orders, go look at my winning court orders. I've won reversals in the Court of Appeals. I won a reversal in Court of Appeals and discretionary review, which is harder than a reversal. I got my custody order. I got my first contempt win on my first try. And you guys, most of you guys don't even try contempt out there. Your attorney's like, let's wait a year until trial. Let's let her steal your time. Let's let her steal 26 weekends for you. Let's steal Christmas break and sit around like a punk-ass bitch and not fight for your kid now. That's just as stupid as somebody steals your car and then they break into your house the next week and then they break into your house again and steal some jewelry. Then they steal your TV and they do it over and over. And you're like, let me just wait until they steal everything and then I'll call the police a year down the road. And next thing you know, they're in Beijing or Mexico. You have to be a freaking dumbass retarded moron to wait and wait and wait while somebody's stealing something from you that you might never get back. How could you do that to your children and let that slide? Anybody with half a brain would say, this is ridiculous, and stand up to your attorney and say, why would we wait? I want my kids now. I want her in contempt now. I want to start getting visitation now. And your dumbass attorney or the judge or other people say, well, let's just wait until trial. You guys accept no for an answer the first time because you're a pussy-ass bitch. The guys who want to fight don't take no for an answer, and they'll go down swinging if they lose because they're going to face their kid one day, and the kid's going to ask, why weren't you in my life? And you're going to say, well, your mom hurt my feelings one time, and I quit on our case. Me, I was going to fight for 18 years. If I lost every hearing, I lost the first couple of hearings. If I lost and I didn't quit like a bitch like 90% of dads out there. I didn't give up on my kid because my life with my kid was at stake, and she was a baby, and I was going to fight until she was 18. And as soon as I saw some help, I reached out to a law firm. F you stupid ass bitches. I'm not settling on every other weekend. Then I found Dads Against Discrimination. Then went to one of their meetings. Then talked to the guy and set up a meeting. I was actively pursuing answers. This is passively, flippantly, just passing by. Oh, hopefully this guy will give me a magical answer that'll magically fix everything. No, punk ass bitches. You have to get off your ass and fight for your kids. Like anything else in life that's worthy of a fight or a cause where somebody's being defrauding you, you have to fight for justice. This punk-ass bitchiness I don't want to help somebody like this, so he can F off.